The Saline Solution presents Naked, the podcast series that pairs it all: real life experiences, how they were dealt with, and the lessons learned. Facing the person in the mirror always makes us check ourselves, accept our past, and guides us to make the decisions that are best for our peace of mind. Are you naked? Here's your host, Saline Griffith. This podcast is for adults 18 years and over.
Hello again and welcome to another Naked episode. It's episode 4 and it's about friendships. Yes, I'm here with my friend and them. Most definitely. In these times, to have a friend or a group of friends or 3 groups of friends in my case who you can seriously rely on for anything under the sun and they can rely on you as well is definitely a treasure and something that you really should hold dear to your heart. I cannot emphasize how much I love these people that I chatted with today. And I have friends, my best friend, she is from way back when. So we were friends from 11, although we didn't like each other in school, in primary school. But when we realized that we passed for the same secondary school and we were in the same class, oh my gosh, we became best friends. But that wasn't the reason why we became best friends, it was her macaroni pie. So that was Lorraine. So she will be on the chat with us. And Sean Mark, my male best friend, he is what we call the godfather extraordinaire. And when I say extraordinaire, it is not to be taken lightly because this dude has been around literally from the birth of my children and of course from before that. But the way that he shows the kids love and all of these different things, it's immeasurable. And for that, I'm very, very grateful to him and for him. And then I have my cheesecake crew. Now, the cheesecake crew, we came together as a group of ladies. Now, in this group, they're actually older than me. I'm the baby in that group, but I have learned so much from these women. Oh my goodness, they are gems. Talk about being there for you when you really, really need them. That loyalty and then I have my friend group called the Girl Gang. Now I'm the oldest in that group. And we met whilst we were studying media studies together. So we're friends for about 5, almost 6 years now. But the bond keeps growing stronger and stronger and stronger. So these groups of friends I'll be chatting with today in terms of friendships. And we'll be discussing what it is to have loyalty, what it means to have loyalty in a friendship, how we will manage an adult friendship as well, because all of us are adults. We have our individual lives going on. Many of us have families who isn't studying, have boyfriend, and it's really a challenge to maintain a healthy adult friendship. But for some reason, in these buckets of friendships, we've been able to do it, and for that, I can't be more grateful. And as well as we will be discussing a friends with benefit situations, because sometimes you're friends with someone of the opposite sex and you end up in a beneficial situation like that, thereby preventing you from moving into a full-fledged relationship, or if it is that you can get into a relationship with someone else. So we'll be discussing friends with benefits, and if your best friend is someone of the opposite sex, how does your spouse deal with that? And flip side of that, if you're best friends with someone, how does their spouse deal with that? So these are the things that we'll be discussing in this chat. So let's get right into it. Let's get down and naked. Yeah, I know Lauren since I'm 11 years old. So she come like my sister.
And the thing is, you weren't friends before that, no?
I couldn't stand her.
We were friends until we entered secondary school, and we ended up passing to the same school, yes, and being in the same class.
Yep.
Huh?
Yep. And I loved her macaroni pie. It's always food with me.
Yeah.
Tasty girl macaroni pie, it was all over. Oh gosh, but we have been friends since then.
It's a long, yeah? That's a long time.
Yeah, we don't want to count and make ourselves feel old.
Yes.
But it's a friendship that I that will definitely be treasured because we went through a lot. You know my whole family history. You've been in my house, you're overnight. And then when Shawnee came on the scene, well, Sean Mark, it was through my sisters I
Uh,
met Sean Mark.
yes, yes, yes,
And then he started
yes.
to work where I was working, and we became us. These three people who always in the little march.
Not really backseat.
Yes, yes, yes. My place was on the left hand side and he was on the right. Never switch sides.
I'd hear that. I'd hear that. Three long, long people when we in a march. But we used to go everywhere though. We going everywhere. So that was so cool. And even though we didn't see each other all the time, this is the two people, for me, these are the two people I will call when for my most important information and the most important events in my life, it was always Sean Mark and Lorraine. Always. And it still is like that. Um, so for me, this is what I treasure the most because I know y'all will always be there. Even if it's to tell me doing shit. Yeah. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
But
Um,
Well, at least you have two of us where you get two different perspectives on the same issue. You'll hear my perspective and then you'll hear Sean's perspective. So,
correct.
that's a good balance to you. Uh,
Yeah. But talking about adult, now that we are adults and our friendship has evolved into an adult friendship, it's the kind where yes, we don't, as I was saying just now, we don't talk every day, but when we do, it's as though we talked yesterday because we're always finding some shit to laugh at, and somehow the memories are so vivid about our earlier years and experiences. The memories are so vivid that we always find something to talk about and to recall. And to me, those are the best times, you know?
and I
yes,
think
for you.
and I think that's healthy in a relationship because to be honest, everybody have their lives, their full-time lives, and they have their own issues that they're dealing with. And it shouldn't
Hmm.
be in order for you to be a friend to somebody or for us to have a friendship, I need to be calling you consistently and every day or whatever the case is, and or you feel
That
like
is true.
grieved when that it doesn't
Yeah.
diminish the importance you have in my life if I'm just focusing on things that I have to deal with on my own,
Yeah.
right? And I really so I mean, but all you know me already on this call, and
Oh,
I'm unavailable,
do not
it
remind me.
but it doesn't
No,
diminish.
I mean, yeah, but even though he is like that, when we do meet, we cuss him and tell him how he's shipping, and then we just move on from there. We don't miss a beat,
Correct,
and that's
correct.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gosh.
And
Yeah,
what I'm always tell you when he talks shipping, say to
that's
him,
true.
your
that is
friend.
your friend. You know, much time she disowned your Sean Marco. So I asked a question about what loyalty in friendship means to these folk in these friend groups here. So we'll hear from Sean Mark what his take is on being a loyal friend, and we'll also hear from the Cheesecake crew in terms of what loyalty means to them. So take it away, guys.
Loyalty for me is you are my friend, and you're my friend.
Mm-hmm.
And even though we may meet people and whatever, the fact is that you're my friend. So
Yeah.
to me, even if we have mutual friends, my thing is if I met that person through you, you are my friend.
Right.
So I not gonna because I meet somebody else automatically switch and turn and even if there may be things that may be showing that I may not be in agreement with that you may be doing. The
Mm-hmm.
fact of the matter is somebody else pointing and ridiculing you, I'm gonna defend you there, even though I may say, even though for me it may not be something I agree with, but my thing is that
Yeah.
you're my friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And nobody else has that right to ridicule you, especially somebody that not reach on the scene. And if it is that,
Exactly.
and if it is that you could come and sit down and ridicule your friend with me, then I had a question the type of friendship or the type of friend that you are to anybody else.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
That is loyalty for me, defending.
Yeah.
And I will have, and loyalty also means that I will have a conversation with you
Mm-hmm.
when the time warrants it. But it doesn't
Yeah.
mean that I'm going to bad talk you else because I don't like what you're doing. So
Right,
that's a easy loyalty.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not something I love to preach. I love to preach to city, and that's like, your friends could give you all the advice in the world, and I think it always comes down to you. When you're ready to act on it, then you will do it. I think I've preached that a million times to you, Sydney. If you're familiar with that.
Yes.
Yes, that's it. I mean, we can give you all the advice in the world, because I mean, talk to one another with different scenarios ever so often. But it's whenever we're ready to act upon it, then you will do it. Yeah. So.
And that's not a bad thing per se. It's just my grandmother always say a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. No matter
It's time to preach.
how many
Yeah.
times you tell the person, if the person is not ready to understand and take
Yeah.
that lesson, they're not going
Yeah.
to change. So
That is true.
wait,
We have all, as I was saying earlier, we have all kinds of different kinds of friends that we deal with and that kind of thing. Sometimes friends grow apart and you oftentimes wonder, hey, what's his story, boy? Oh, why is he doing this? And you don't understand the behavior. But at the same point in time, we understand that people's lives go in different directions, right? And so, what you all think about that part?
Well, for me, um, yes, you have different groups of friends, and yes, your lives go, different places. But with us, I find we tend to maintain our contact, we maintain the friendship, and yes, we don't see each other as often as sometimes we hope, but ever so often, we will decide, you know what, we need to have a cheesecake line, and
Mm-hmm.
we organize and we get together, and it's like we were never apart.
It's
So that is what I like um for this group, and I
true.
I treasure this group. Yes, I have other friends outside of this group, but this group, I treasure everybody in this.
Hmm.
So
So
that's
tell
what
me
he's
now. Go ahead. Who's talking?
that's what he's the saying, and I've used it for one of your birthdays inside of here. You
Mm-hmm.
come into your life for a reason, season, or lifetime.
It's true, you know.
Understand? And some of us are here are friends longer than some, and then through one we all became friends, and whatever the reason was, in our lifetime.
Mm.
So
Are
it
you still
works basically
close with
for
your
all.
friends from, like, when you were in school, growing up from primary school to now? You still close with people like that, with friends like that?
Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes you have solid friendships that last a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, just as Karen said, you know, friendship is supposed to be organic. It's not supposed to be something that you feel that you have too much obligation. It's supposed to be something that becomes very natural and fluid.
Yeah.
So, just today I spoke to somebody I hadn't spoken to in 2 years, and I felt as though we had just talked yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what it's supposed to feel like. You're not supposed to be overly concerned about the person's perception that we didn't connect, we didn't speak, did you
Right.
forget me?
Yeah.
Of course, you're not forgotten. You're always top of mind, even though you may not have a conversation every day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's about the little things you do in the background to support your friends and to be there
Mm-hmm.
without seeing them. You don't have to see, touch, feel every day to
That's
mean
true.
something, a meaningful part in somebody's life.
Hmm. And I remembered, like my girlfriend Lorraine. I know Lorraine since I'm 11. So we're friends since we started secondary school together. And we're still very good friends today. We have two totally different lifestyles, totally different. But yet, when we get together for a conversation, it's like it was yesterday we spoke. I even saw it with my mom when she was alive, and she would speak with her friends from way back when, and they will just reconnect like that. So these things go through time and time again, and it's really important to have that support. And one of my episodes was on sibling relationships. And I remember telling my sisters there was a point in my life where my friends they took precedence over my sisters because I didn't really remember being at home that often to create that friendship with my sisters. Now we are like that. Now we have that friendship. But my friends were my everything. So I'm accustomed to building relationships from very young and, you know, giving that level of all inness. You have to be all in. It's either you're my friend or you're not. So I had a scenario recently where one of my really good friends, she did something, and in hindsight, thinking about it, it wasn't so much that she did something wrong. It's just that it took me by surprise because it's not something that I would do. And so it's really a situation of us really trying to understand people from where they are. And even though I felt very hurt by what she did and all of that kind of thing, it's not like I would stop talking to her because I know we have a history. All right, all right, all right. That was cool. And so we're going to talk about that friends with benefits situation now. We have the girl gang. We'll hear about their views on that. And then we'll hear from Cheesecake. And after that, we'll talk to Sean Mark about that whole friends with benefits situation. Friends with benefits situation. So we meet a guy and we don't know if it's going anywhere, but you start off as friends and you end up just having a beneficial sort of a relationship. And then it just continues like that. But for me, friends with benefits is only work for a little while because then they get too platonic after that. And then you end up having to meet their girlfriend and say, hi, how you going? And you're wondering, oh, so well, to me, I wasn't good enough for.
I think that's where we get to, I think as women, we start thinking that way, and it's not necessarily the case for men, as it's not that you're not good enough, it's just that you were not who they were looking for to have that type of relationship with. So if it's benefit, then you are in benefits category. But I think sounds tricky, but at least this is what I have learned in my travels.
Really? I kind of disagree with that.
You can't move from that. I'm not saying that you can't move from the benefits part, but I'm just saying I feel like we need to not take it as personally if it doesn't evolve into that. Is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Because I only look just be reaching. I more had the situation where I would be having a friends with benefits going down the road real normal, and then like people start to move left with me, and I'm like, what is going on with you? Well, why you didn't consider me for any? I thought we were gonna progress it. I'm like, sweetheart, we never had.
That's my next question. Do we agree? Do the two parties agree that this is a friends with benefits?
Yes, and
in the initial stages, yes,
we have to discuss it, because if nothing is discussed, I am not going to take it as understood.
I hear that.
That's how women end up. But you see, on the flip side, so that's what you're saying to me. Women is be thinking the other way, which is, well, he acting like if he's my boyfriend, so then maybe we are.
Conversation.
And that's
so important.
You have to distinguish friends with benefits and just fun friends. Because if you're a fun friend, that's your sole purpose. A friend with benefits is a friend who you also do other stuff with.
Right.
So friend with benefits come with more expectations. Because I think that's more in the line of what you do, Celine. Fun friend is what I do. I'm like, I'm not looking to have no conversation with you outside of
fun. We're just doing the do, and it's deuces.
I'm not gonna have the expectation of you giving me any kind of friendly support, any kind of good morning. And if I see you send my good morning, I'm like, well, yeah, I'm free later. Because I personally don't like when I have a fun friend for them to know what's going on in my life, because you are solely a distraction. I don't want you asking me, hey, how was that exam? Nigga, you are supposed to make me not think about that exam. No.
But then, Demi, how do they know that you have an exam? Because you have led them into certain parts of your life.
No, so that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to tell them that I had an exam. I'm not going to tell them anything because you are solely here for distraction. When we talk, it's like just oh yeah, I had an apple
Make an
today for lunch.
appointment.
Apple is great. You know why I had watermelon?
Like superficial stuff.
Yeah. And it's just supposed to be super light. And if I have 2 hours with you, that is the lightest 2 hours I could have because my day is so full of so much else that I needed this break.
Okay.
And instead of just sitting down and watching TV, take my own movie.
Oh, shit. Yeah. I get that. But friends with benefits, yeah, it really does put a whole lot of complication into the mix because when you're friends with the person, as you were saying earlier, and they know so much about you and all of that, somebody, either you or the person might
will get attached.
Correct. Yeah.
I have been there.
Yeah.
I was the one who got attached.
Same here.
Oh my word. And I was big bad B. I was bad B in the beginning. They're like, yeah, I got this.
Exactly.
That was my situation.
Next thing you know, you shopping, all kind.
That was my situation with Golden Penis, Golden Penis was supposed to just be that. And then I started getting attached. Why? Gosh.
Because you have other conversations. You talk about everything. You share stuff. You help him with his things. He never reciprocated, and that should have been the first hint.
True.
In everything. Because he probably was trying to keep that distance of, let me do my thing, you do yours. You're showing interest. Okay, that's great for you, but I'm not going to do this because that's not what I want to get into.
So true. So true. Right. Wow.
But at least feelings hurt though. Because you're thinking, we're good, we're friends, and so we're building something on your end, and then
but
you're
you
like,
see, in all fairness to him, in that situation, that's the first thing he said. What are your expectations? And I said, I have none. He said, okay, I have none either. We're friends with benefits.
Was the wrongest thing ever because it doesn't matter what type of relationship, there are always expectations.
Yeah.
And that's even if you, and I agree with Justine, but even if the expectation is strict, and that's where we not always, like, this is what I was telling my boyfriend, we sell ourselves.
You have a boyfriend?
Like,
yes.
Why are you trying to pretend? I'm speaking about my heyday, okay? Now I'm a settled woman. I'm behaving myself.
Very good.
Yeah, I've seen that about you. Like, you remember, like, if you make a commitment to something, you are committed to. On January 2nd, 1896, I said, do not lick my toe. I specifically said that in 2 languages. You are very precise and disciplined. I don't know how you do it.
Oh, God.
Because I don't like to confuse things. Because if I start confusing things and other people start to confuse, I don't want nobody confusing things for me.
Right.
So I am as clear as we get in it.
But
I learned that the hard way. I learned that the hard way. The first time that I was in a quote-unquote beneficial relationship, friendship, let me not say relationship. Friendship is where I did that. I literally was like, oh, well, he's acting in this way, so then that maybe we're evolving into something else. And I start moving growth. Who tell me to do that? The knife in my heart when I found out that he was doing something with somebody else.
Yeah, boy.
2 days of recovery I had to go through. I had to act like a bad bitch in public, but at home I was balling. I was balling.
Did you lose weight? You didn't get to lose weight?
Yeah, that was the best thing. It was like, a glass half full, half empty moment. I did. I looked fab.
Yeah.
I looked fab. I dressed fab. I was like, bitch, you're going to see what you're missing out on.
Diet,
I look damn
nothing
good.
contest that.
A Tabanca diet.
No. What do you do if this situation happens and you flip? So like you're one track mind, we agree on this on the 31st January 1st of 1983. This is where I am today. And then we're liming in a setting and he is like, oh yeah, this is my girlfriend, so and so and so and so. Do you in that moment correct him like, oh no, we're just friends, ting. Or do you go along with it? But you all have never had this discussion before. He just say this out of the blue.
No, I'm correct.
You're correcting it.
I'm sorry, I don't get that dumbfounded look on my face like, oh, I was like, I thought we were just friends.
To
We're
me-
friends.
But you
To me,
know,
that's a make or
what we do
scene.
sometimes, like if like in Celine's case, like, okay, I have no expectations, and then he said the same. And then as time passes, there's certain things that happen, and then we feel uncomfortable to say, hey, this has changed or whatever, because we don't want to lose that, whatever it is,
Yeah.
connection, company, you know, and
Access to the body.
yes. So that's where we complicate things even more by not communicating.
And that's the thing, like you went in saying that you have no expectations. You did have expectations. You had expectations of this strictly being friends with benefits, and he had the same expectations.
That's true. That is true.
And things would have changed, but you had expectations of what it ought to have been.
Hmm.
So that's what you could learn from this one, to just know you never have no expectations in something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You learn the hard way.
You learn the hard way.
I didn't have male friends because the male friends that I would have had, they didn't want a platonic relationship. It would always want to be something that they would lead to something more than just friendship.
Right.
So I was just really grateful for my female friends because I didn't have much male friends.
For me, I have had male friends, as you all know, and it wasn't platonic at first, but then it just evolved into that. It evolved into us having a very good friendship, and I found that sometimes maybe that's how it had to go. You share something, but you know me, always living life on the edge.
Oh, no,
I know that's not you, Moon.
Yeah, we know.
But the thing is, funny enough, I have learned so much from these guys, because even though now I may not be like sexually involved with them anymore, you still find that the connection that we have is very, I will value it still, because they're still there for you in terms of business ideas. If they want to share anything like that, any valuable information in terms of their area of expertise, I know who to call, you know. So I value that, but I know the flip side of it as well, because, oh gosh, you know how people can get all up in their feels and things sometimes too. A friendship with somebody of the opposite sex, and it's a beneficial relationship sexually. How y'all deal with situations like that? You showed holy head, yes? Oh God.
I can tell you about an experience.
Oh yeah.
I can tell you it is. So it is always start off. So friends with benefits is like the funny, right? So you're.
But did you agree to that situation first?
You agree to it. You just go in, agree that this is what it's going to be. This all it is up, right? And I don't know, some strange reason. So my experience was, we doing this thing, you know, every weekend you go, you take a tush and you come back. And what ended up happening is, somewhere along the line, she started to show a different side. So, you know, before it was just like, hey, so what you doing? You're free tonight, you know, we on? No, okay, yeah, okay, so you come, whatever. And then she started to say things like, but you know, you don't have to really ask, you know, you have an open invitation. So I was like, all right, cool, I like that. And then I remember this, I was going into my performance appraisal, and then she called, and she called to find out if I was, you know, just wish me good luck in the appraisal or whatever. Then she called after, of course, you know me, I don't answer the phone. So I didn't get the message, but when I got home and I called her, she said the voicemail. I said no. She said, well, check your voicemail and call me back. And she actually was calling to find out how the appraisal went or whatever. It was real nice. And then after that, she started to do little things, right? And I say, you know what? She's capable of more. So why settling for less? Because this is somebody now that I really like. I find her real cool. She seemed same worthless like me. We real cool. I like her, right? And have a kind of, she have a kind of bitchiness to her that's a real like, you know, she's a challenge, you know.
That's what I was about to say. You are always up for the challenge.
So I was like, yeah, I like this. And now she's starting to show like a kind of interest and feelings. I say, yeah, well, I want more. So one night after our encounter,
Hello, this is Naked. You could say what you want to say.
right. So after the encounter, she said to me, she said something, and I said to her, she said something nice again, and I said to her, oh, you could be a real nice person when you're ready. And then and she asked for examples. I give her examples or whatever. And the next day, that girl went back and flipped the script. And by that time, I was like, nah, I'm not settling for that. I know you're capable of more. So I kind of slack off and saying, whatever the case is. But when it was coming down to the end, because she wasn't from here, so that's why we had media region, because she wasn't from here. And she had a finite time, she was on contract. So she had a finite time before she had to leave the country. And when the 2 weeks before she left the country, was when we kind of reconnected. And I'm saying to myself, oh gosh, here it was. You finally have somebody who you have similar interests and stuff with, and now they're gone. And you have to start all over again. And then I realized that she didn't do anything wrong. She went back to the contract, but I was the one that started to grow some feelings. So now I realize with the friends with benefits that you can't be a friend with benefit to somebody that you like, because you'll end up hurt.
Yep.
So it had to be somebody that you're not really into. You're just doing your thing again out.
How could you not be into somebody in any kind of a way, even if it's a physical attraction? How could you not be into someone and still want to have sex with them?
Easy.
I can't do that.
How you
I agree.
I am very scornful and very picky. I can't.
No.
If I don't feel some sort of an attraction, it is not happening because I can't fake it.
Yeah.
So what you're trying to say is that if you go to a party and you meet somebody, and if kind of way after the party, after you drink, you're feeling a little horny and thinking to take them over when you brush them. Right? What's the problem? Get up and put your clothes and go your way and
dude, you're a guy. You could say them things. If I do that as a homeboy, up to you. Up to you, Lorraine.
Oh, well, I find, I don't know. Like, I always say that people nowadays like they're damaged. So, you know, all the things we've gone through is end up hardening your heart to a point where it's kind of difficult to let somebody in or be vulnerable to somebody.
Right.
So you have this physiological need. So you fill the need, but you maintain that barrier.
So let's hear what the girl gang has to say about having friends within the opposite sex. If your best friend is someone of the opposite sex, how their spouse is going to deal with it, or how your significant other is going to deal with it. We're also going to hear from the Cheesecake Crew and Sean, Mark, and Lorraine. So let's get right into it. Well, in this group is only Demi in a relationship, really. So how about your significant other having a problem with you being really good friends with someone of the opposite sex? Do you have that kind of a scenario, Demi?
No.
But
I
if
don't
you
think so.
did, have you ever been in a relationship like that, like in the past?
I might be one of the few who I've always tried to have male friends, but it never works out because here I am thinking, yeah, we cool, we vibes and alignment and thing, and then sooner or later he's going to say or do something uncomfortable that I'm like, for me, yes. And as soon as that conversation happens where this is not gonna happen, you know, we are just friends, I get ghosts. So, like, if they were just biding their time until something more could have happened. And I'm like, I really thought I was getting a friend out of this. Like, what?
Yeah.
I genuinely just wanted a friend. So I don't have any male long-term friends. I have one or two who like pop in every now and then, but it's like, you don't know much about me. I don't know much about you. I might give you a little, yeah, I'm good. How are you? Everything is fine. All right, bye. Kind of thing. But I just always have this situation where people, we are not in the same place when we are friends, and they always say something left. And as soon as you say something left, I am leaving you right there.
Right.
No, I'm not that. I'm not that cut and dry. I feel like after they said something left, I try to clarify the situation and be like, well, aren't we just friends? Whatever, whatever. And if for me, I have a 3 strikes and out. So if you do it like 3 times in a row, I was like, all right, cool. Then maybe it's time for me to.
No, but it's not
realize that
even
this
me.
relationship
I
is
am not
not.
even the one. I'm not even the one who gives the strikes. Like after I'm like, we not there though. Like we're not that kind of friends. All right, moving on. Messages start to get more rare, more long. Like conversations don't happen as how they were happening before and things like that. And I'm like, but I thought we were friends.
It's a nah.
I know about that.
You just wanted to get in my pants.
Exactly. If
And
you
then it
slip,
really
I will
does.
slide.
And then it really does compromise the friendship, because then if you realize that this person was trying to have sex with you all along and the guy's in under this platonic friendship, then it's like, oh God, boy, you're coming, you're a real jackass to scene, because
yeah.
Yeah, so this is why I'm sorry, male friendships, I'm very iffy about. Like, I will say in my younger years, I was way more into having male friends because girls were very too judgmental, too into the whole your parents and boys and this and that. And that was just not how I was. I was way more tomboy. So this is why I find like my friendships in my younger years was more boys. But now as I've gotten older and I've developed quote unquote, it's like, oh, well, I can't be friends with you at all because you're hoping that there's an opportunity for you to slip in and I would slide. And I'm like, no, you are my friend. You are in that box and it's not going to change. Sorry, not
but
sorry.
then sometimes the best friendships develop into some of the best relationships, and then eventually marriage. So then you don't think you're depriving yourself of that opportunity?
For some odd reason, I feel like that's a fairy tale.
But
that has never happened to me.
Yeah, but
I
then
have
you
seen it happen to other women and I'm happy for them, but it has not happened.
But calm, then sometimes you never meet someone unless you develop a friendship with them first. You don't meet somebody and say, okay, we're going on court and then get married. It always starts off as a friendship. But to me, I found that if I find that if we stop in a certain pace for too long, then I say, okay, and I will make that decision myself. We are just friends, right? But if I find that there's a nice mix between our intimacy, you ask me out on dates, but yet we're friends, then I say, okay, this has potential to go somewhere. But if it is it's just a situation where we just liming and we just talking on the phone and worse yet, WhatsApp. If it's just WhatsApp, oh my God, you are just a friend.
One of my best friends is a guy, and our parents were friends as kids, and then we became friends. He has seen me through every relationship. I have seen him through every relationship, and every time we're in a relationship, we have to go through no, we don't have anything, we're just friends. And that's my, like, when I get with somebody, I'm like, this is my friend. So before we go in and whatnot, you need to know that this is my friend and he's very close to me.
Justine,
I beg your pardon?
Is that person ever uncomfortable, even though you would have said before that this is my friend and this is my best friend from since we were children, and does your partner, would your partner ever have shown some sort of
only once because I remember he was sick and he asked for me and he was like, I don't understand the type of friendship you have. I said, well, I have seen him through everything, and he was really sick. He had taken a fall and he had gotten some sort of an inflammation, and it looked like he was going to die. It was really bad. So he asked to see me, and I spent a lot of time with him in that time, and it was really uncomfortable because it's to the point where he was basically on a bed naked and I was next to him. And you as a partner, you seeing your significant other next to someone like that, it would make you think like, why are they so comfortable like that? Now, he got married last year, and we had always said if he got married that I would have been his best man. That's how close we were. And he had to appease his girlfriend, not making me the best man. I was at the wedding and I was in a nobody capacity. And it was tough because that's somebody I shared so much of my life with, but I had to understand that.
So then she had an issue with you as well.
She had an issue, but wait, I don't know, after the wedding or whatever, he put her in a place about me and her issues with me. So much to the fact that when I was pregnant, I stayed away from him. And she realized there was a rift between us. She had to pick up herself and call me and be like, I'm really sorry for what I did between the two of you because he's not happy. Imagine you calling your husband's friend, which is a woman, to tell him that I cannot make him happy because he has not seen you in months. That was the most uncomfortable thing for her to do. But then, you see, because of the lifestyle that we have developed, where we have so indulged in this friend with benefits thing, it's hard for a lot of people to understand that there can truly be a friendship between a man and a woman.
Totally agree.
Yeah, they pushed that narrative for a really long time, though, that it's not possible for a man and woman to be platonic friends without one of them catching feelings. And I totally agree with you. It's just that for me, I have not met anybody where I could have that type of platonic relationship with. That's all.
Yeah. Agreed.
Everybody thought that Sean Mark was his own father. Because
his name is Sean.
His name is Sean too, but when you're going and meeting this godfather extraordinaire, when he go into business meeting, you will be standing up and telling people about your two children. Just forgetting God parts. And then we going everywhere together. So for years, people thought that you were the children's father, and they thought that we were together. People still think that up to this day. And I said, but this boy cock blocking. Because when we go out, it's not like we just going out together, Always the two of we behave and what less in people place. Crazy. So that what I was getting to is talking about when your best friend is someone from the opposite sex, how would your significant other think of the person? Are they a threat or are they cool with it? Now, I don't have a significant other to draw a reference to, and even when I was with the guy that I was engaged to, I don't think he had a problem because he was part of that crew of us liming together, But I've never had that experience. And have you, Sean Mark?
So in terms of, well, you're not my friend. So in terms of so I could talk to you all about how it is seen. But the thing is, they meet me with you all. And I incorporate, well, as best as I could, incorporate them into the circle.
Right.
So the other part of that is you have to know the person you're with and you have to understand their mind. So for me to get into a relationship with somebody before I could even take it there, I had to understand how you think. I don't understand your mind because when things happen, I had to see if it's consistent or not with the person that I know to know whether it's true or false. People kind of think, right? And I know all you're crafty and sneaky.
Hey, Lauren, you hear me?
Oh, you're real good. But to be honest, that's the thing. So when she met me, she knew I had this crew. She knew we used to sing because I met Kelly and Charlie through Youth Pulse, and that we were hobby and we were live and stuff like that. And then sailing came into the equation, and that was the next line. I've never had an issue like that because it's like family.
Yeah.
So it depends on how you integrate the person in your circle will determine whether or not they should feel threatened. For me, I'm an open book. So if I do anything, I'm telling you. Because I want this like that. We know where we stand. If things happen, I'm going to tell you. So,
Lauren, how was that? Lorraine, how was your experience? You ever had an experience like that?
No, because I was even going to bring up a reference in the sense of in the relationship I was in previously. it has he have two friends that I met, right? And up to now, and they do one is an electrician and one does construction. And up to now, I still call them to do things. And so they have met the person I am with now, and that's my ex-boyfriend friend.
Right, right.
So I have so
But your husband doesn't have a problem with them.
No, because I mean he have their numbers. He will call them if we need things done. And up to the other day, he told me he see one of them in the hardware and he chat with him and all kind of things. So.
But remember, you're probably not as close with those guys.
No, I'm not as close. But I mean, still, you have some people, even if it's your ex-man, they don't want to hear nothing.
It's true. That is true. That is true.
So,
yeah.
It also depends on the type of things that you do with your friends, right? So it can't be that you're going like a restaurant, me and Siri going to a restaurant together on Valentine's Day and all kind of.
Exactly.
That kind of thing, yeah.
But that is thing to get up in your head for. Yeah.
when she's coming over, you give her that reverence that okay, this is your time, this is your space.
Exactly.
People all up, So you gotta balance it, but also you gotta be open and honest and say, well, listen, we just do an XYZ case. I mean, I know people could be real worthless. I would tell it. So I have no issues right now. I have no issues with this whatsoever.
You all hear that scandalous laughter we carry on with? Oh my goodness. And it's even worse than that. We are so brutally honest with each other. It's ridiculous sometimes, but we love it because it keeps us on our toes. It keeps us to continue to be real. And I really do hope that you have friends like that. And if you don't, well, I hope that this episode on friendships was a solution to you knowing what type of friendships that you want to have and the way that you're going to go forth with it. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Join us again next time for another naked episode. Remember also, if you have any comments or views or feedback about the podcast, feel free to drop me some comments in my DM on Instagram and on my inbox on the Facebook page, The Saline Solution. Always happy to hear from you, and I look forward to it. Thank you so very much. Remember always to be a good human.